What's up, Attack MMA? I'm your host, Zach Weicker, and today we got a very special guest. He's a professional fighter with a record of 9-1 and will be fighting for Cage Warriors for a Cage Warrior Championship on March 16th. Please welcome Robert Hernandez. Robert, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. The sun's out. We had a rainy days in California these past couple of weeks, and today's a sunny day. It's a good day.
Lucky for you, I'm in New York, so it's cold, snowed the past few days, so not the brightest in the East Coast, so good to hear it's sunny by you. And
Yeah,
before we talk about the fight, of course, kind of like to give the fans a quick introduction on you and your background. So, how and when did you get into MMA?
I got into MMA back in. I always knew I liked it since I was 13 years old. I see my first fight, GSP versus Matt Hughes, #2, and I was inspired by then. And around 6 years later, I still had this passion, this hunger to do it, just to try it out. And around 19, I started training, and from there, I met Joe Stevenson, and the rest is, here we are from there.
Definitely, man. And I noticed after your first pro fight, which was your only professional loss, that you took a 2-year break from the sport. So, what caused that long layoff for you?
That first loss, man, I got TKO'd. It was one of those fights where you live by a sword, die by a sword. I wrote the dice. I did everything wrong, bad weight cut, everything. It was just a bad recipe to lose. And somehow I was still winning in that fight. And I blew my gas tank out trying to finish the guy. And, he TKO'd me. So that those 2 years, I needed to just rethink and think about my future. Think about my wife was in my ear at the time. Like, is this the perfect? Are these the right steps? If you're going to continue, are you going to take the right steps? It was just a lot of game planning, and I was just lost. So it took, and on top of that, I still had to heal. I had to heal my brain, the brain tissue, all that stuff. It takes a while to, heal. So that's why it was a 2-year layoff. But once I got back on, I was on.
Definitely, man. And you mentioned before Joe Stevenson, who is obviously one of your head coaches. And a lot of time, great head coaches give, of course, fight uh, lessons on your fight technique, but more importantly, they give life advice. So, what's some advice that Joe's given you?
The advice that Joe gave me is more on the sense of, like, he told me, don't get don't knock a girl up, don't get married. He told me everything what not to do, and I did the exact opposite. I got my girl pregnant. Obviously found the love of my life, all these things. But it, the most thing I could take out of it is training smart, training safe. One thing I could say is he was very big on doing more drills. Drillers make killers. Drills pays the bills as far as sparring hard, taking that brain damage early on, and that's where you take the most brain damage early on. So in that learning phase, so that's what one thing I could say, and I appreciate him for it, is doing things the right way already, training like a professional when you're amateur.
Definitely, man. That's great. And now talking about this fight, this will be your eighth fight with Cage Warriors. So, how does it mean and to be part of this great promotion of Cage Warriors?
See, being part of this promotion, Cage Warriors, it's when you think about it, for me, I thought of it as Conor McGregor, it's over there in the European side. And when it came over here in San Diego, I was like, man, I got to get in this. I got to get in this promotion somehow. Like, it's a big promotion, So once I finally met Graham and I met, the whole Cage Warriors team, it felt official. It kind of feels like you part of it, like you already. It's UFC type of process. Like, it's preparing me for, obviously, for the UFC, but it already feels like it's a big UFC company type of, it's like Bellator. It's a big promotion. They do everything right. The media, the way, everything. It's just so professional, and I'm so glad to be part of it. On top of that, the talent here, especially like fighting at 145. You got nothing but UFC material guys at 145. And even at 135 too now that I'm starting to pay attention to the division because I made my, I dropped the weight class, and I'm starting to see like, man, this is every fight is the biggest fight of my life. Every fight. That's what I realized because I'm on a 9-fight winning streak. People were trying to break that winning streak since my 5-fight winning streak. From there on, it started becoming more. So I was like, damn, every fight is serious now. Like, there's no room for mistakes. I'm 30 years old right now, and I can't make a mistake right now. Right now, it's just uphill, 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 and I don't plan on making mistakes. And thanks to Cage Warriors, it gave me that, for my personality to come out as well on top of it. So now I'm not just, a fighter. I got a personality attached to me, and they're showcasing that. And that's what I love about Cage Warriors. They're really big on building stars. The big stars, Patty Pimlet, Conor McGregor. You got Ian Gary. These are big stars. These are not just people that got drafted to the year. These are big superstars. And I believe I'm the next one.
Definitely, man. And of course, you take part of the San Diego and California Cage Warriors shows, which don't get as much attention as the UK shows. So, how would you describe the atmosphere of those California shows?
I feel like the California shows, the regional scene of California, just is so much talent here. All the best guys move here. To be honest, like a lot of really, really high level fighters move to California. You're around high level people just training, fighting. You've seen all these people that are in the UFC, and you are around it already. For me, I already felt like I was around. I felt like I was in the UFC because I'm already sparring guys in the UFC, and I'm doing good work with these guys. So when I compare the UK scene or the European side, I feel like our, making it in California is way more tougher than making it in the UK as far
No.
as being successful MMA fighter.
Yeah, and now on to the UK. This fight will be in England, which you haven't really been to England before. So, are you excited at all to make the trip up to England?
I'm excited. Them Liverpool fans, all them UK fans, they're very what's the word, passionate. They're very passionate. I seen how they go. They be flipping you off. You have to like make room on the way to the cage, and especially I'm a dark skin over here. I'm a dark skin Mexican, and they for sure not gonna like me after I take that belt from their boy. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
definitely, man. It's kind of like you're going into their backyard, so you're kind of like the bad guy in some sense. So, will you embrace that role once you get there?
Yes, I'm gonna embrace that role. I can't wait to, it's energy. At the end of the day, they're giving you energy, and it's what you do with it. If they're gonna flip me out, cool. That's all good because what's gonna happen. You're only making it worse for your boy. You know, and on top of that too, like Lee, there's just so much that goes on with this. We've been talking a lot of trash. I'm pretty sure you've seen this. I'm pretty sure his fans see it. But one thing I do not want is a riot to break out after I take this belt. So
You never know with those fans. And you mentioned there's a lot of back and forth between you and Liam. And has been a fight that you've been calling for a while now. So the fact that you finally got it, how rewarding does it feel to get this opportunity?
it feels so rewarding because some people, I feel like I earned it. 7 fights, 7 wins in a row in Cage Warriors, 3 finishes, or yeah, 3 finishes. I had 4 finishes, but I don't know. I think I got one, two, yeah, 3 finishes, and I earned it. I earned it. Like I really, like a Mexican, I went to work and earned every single ounce of it. So it means so much more when you know the work that you're putting in. And to be honest, I did everything the wrong way. Like people ask me, like I may have made a video earlier. Like people ask me, like, "What's your recipe? Like, how are you on a 9-fight winning streak? Like, how?" And I tell them, like, this is what I did, and they're looking at me like, "How the heck did you get here, bro? Like, you were not supposed to make it here. The way you're breaking down, you don't even have a fight journal, and like, I don't know. I just feel like it's God's plan, and it's God's plan for me to take it from Him. It's God. I just feel I already walking around with the belt around my waist. Like that's how I feel already. But I just gotta be humble. I gotta stay humble.
Definitely, man. And obviously, I know you don't like Liam Gittins, but is there anything that you admire from his style or his strengths and all? Anything you like from his skill set?
The one thing I would say that I admire in his skill set is he's just he gets after it. He's a go getter, and for me, that style is exciting. He has an exciting style, like he pushes the pace, gets in your face, all these good things, whatever, cool. I admire that because it takes a stupid fighter with guts. At least he has some type of balls there, and he's gonna come for it. He's a fighter. He's not just a. Me, on the other hand, I'm a very careful. I'm a strategic. But if push comes to shove, if I have to fight, if you have to take that out of me, I would do it. But first, I'm gonna break you down.
Definitely, man. And now looking at your skill set and his skill set, where do you believe you stand out the most compared to him?
Everywhere. I feel like my jujitsu is 100 times better. He's a purple belt. You know, I'm a black belt under Joe Stevenson. I'm not just a black belt under any other instructor. I'm a black belt under Joe Stevenson, and I feel like my jits game is levels ahead. Like I could do whatever. I could literally tell him how I'm gonna finish him and do it. That's what I believe. My grappling, my timing, my speed, my height. I'm just where I just feel like he's a fluke champion. I feel like he earned it. I guess he beat some guy, a decent level guy. But I just feel like me, when you compare them skill sets, he has nothing for me. I'm gonna shut him down. I'm gonna outclass him, and I'm levels above him.
Definitely, man. And now, with that in consideration, stylistically, how are you looking at this fight?
Stylistically, I just see myself, if I can't leak too many secrets, but let's just say if he comes at me like a bull, I'm gonna put that little red thing, that what do you call it, a little red rug, and I'm gonna just take him out. I'm gonna play Matador with him if he comes at me like a bull, and it's not gonna be pretty. So that's what I see. He's just gonna give me, one thing I do. Fighters are much tougher when you play that, that strategic game. But I don't have to do that with him. He's gonna bring the fight to me, and I want him to fight me. That's just in his style. It's in his nature to just come at me, and I just have an answer for everything.
Do you see this fight making all the 5 rounds, or do you see this fight end?
I don't see this fight going to 5 rounds. I see possibly finishing him in the first round, maybe the fourth round. My coach tells me, Joe Stevenson tells me, like, hey, you should probably wait to the fourth round, fifth round, fill those rounds. These are championship rounds. And I told him, I was like, Coach, I don't think I'm going to make it there. I think I'm going to finish them by accident. Like, by accident, I'm going to finish it, like, in the first second. And it's not even me willing. It's there. My instincts, my killer instincts are just going to finish it. So my coach's game plan is make it to the fourth and fifth. My game plan is if it happens early.
Don't blame you at all there. And obviously, of course, this is for the championship. So how much would that mean for you to become a Cage Warrior champion?
You know what? At first, when I joined the promotion, I didn't think I'll ever have a title shot. I just thought that I was just going to win, and then just get drafted. But God had other plans for me. So now midway, I started thinking in my head, like, maybe I do have a possible chance of fighting for the belt. And it happened. So here I am, and it's surreal. Like, it kind of feels like damn, I never thought this. When I joined the promotion, I never thought I was going to be in this title fight. But now that I am, it's surprising, but it feels good, about to be called a champ before I even get to the UFC. That's what any fighter's dream is. You join the promotion, you win the belt, you become attractive enough for the UFC to draft you. And that's the road. And I did not know that was going to be my road, but here we are, and I just feel so appreciative, and I feel blessed.
Definitely, man. And looking at Cage Warriors and all their champions and previous champions, it's rare that a United States guy gets the opportunity, as the last US champion it was in 2013. So does it make it a little extra special for you, as it's a little harder road for you from being from the US and you're not one of those UK guys?
Yes, I do believe it's a little bit harder, but I think this is what this is in Cage Warriors plans. They branched out to San Diego to produce champions too. They're not just coming out here to just come out here. They're coming out here to build stars so they can hold the belts. And I'm just happy to be the first one. I'm like, whatever they had in plans, obviously they had other people in, but they just couldn't hold the end of their deal. And it just happens to be me. So I feel blessed, I feel bad for Liam Gittins. Like, this little short guy, he thinks he's someone special. Like, he's believing in the hype of the belt. People are just feeding him lies and say like, "Oh, you're the best," which he is a champion. I'll give him that. But put him in the UFC, he ain't going that far. You put me in the UFC, I'm winning fights still. I'm still going. That's why when I compare the skill sets, it's a mismatch. But hey, this is your champion, so thank you for the easy road. Thank you, Cage Warriors. This was an easy road to get in the belt.
Definitely, man. And obviously, there has been a little trash talk between you and Liam. So, what are your thoughts on Liam's trash talk?
You know what? I'll give him that. He's a funny little guy. Liam Gittins, he's a funny little guy. I enjoy the trash talk going back and forth. Um, he's won some rounds. I've won some rounds. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. I respect it. It makes it fun for me. And when it gets fun for me, that's when I'm more dangerous. Because even still, at the end of the day, you got to answer to me. It's not just trash talk, and then nothing happens. No, we're going to see each other at March 16th. We're going to see each other, and we're going to find out with our fists. And I know I'm walking out perfectly fine. My beliefs. That's my beliefs.
Of course. And would you consider this fight a pivotal moment in your career?
Yes, yes. You know what? It's crazy because, now it's becoming to a point where there's like championship fights, right? There's champions and then there's names. I'm a bigger name than Liam Gittins. I believe I just beat Trevin Jones. I think that put me on the map, put me on people's radars. Who has Liam Gittins fought? He's fought nobody. He's fought guys that they don't even know if they're UFC material yet. And he's beat them and lost to 4 people already. So me, I'm just going up, up, up. So I feel like I'm doing him a favor. People are going to notice him more because I'm the bigger name. Even though he's the champion at Cage Warriors, I'm the bigger name. So it's what do you call it? I'm getting what I deserve. Like how people see the script, I'm the one that's like, all right, Robert's a champion. I get it. I get why he's a champion. When they look at Liam Gittins, it's like, I don't know how he's. So I'm just making things, putting everything back in order, how the way it should be.
For sure, man. And of course, you still got 1 month left until the fight, but how's your training camp been so far?
Training camp has been going good, man. Working out with Training Lab. I joined Training Lab my last fight camp when I fought Trevin Jones, and honestly, I didn't know if I was gonna ever make 135. I never knew I could make 135. So working with Coach Cal and Training Lab brought me down to 135, and I'm still acclimating. My body is still acclimating. So, but I feel like this time around, this training camp is going so smoothly. I'm literally torturing myself in this. It's a gym, but it's called the Garage, Sam's Sanctuary, and that's where he has like the best guys. I'm working out with people that I don't even know, but when I look them up, they're like top 5 in the world. There's wrestlers that in the Olympic team. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm right here working out with these guys, and I'm seeing their work ethic, and I got to match their work ethic. So, I just feel like everything's falling into place, and I don't know, like that guy. I feel bad for Liam Gittins because I did things the wrong way for so long for what 9 fights. I did 9 fights the wrong way, and I somehow pulled it off. Now I'm doing things the right way. It's bad. I feel bad for Liam Gittins.
And looking at the Cage Warrior Bantamweight Championship, recently there has been a lot of title vacancies as Kalen Lagren vacated the title, champion before vacated the title. So do you plan on defending the title, or is your goal to go straight to UFC after?
The goal is to see wherever, my coach wants me to defend the belt here in the United States. Once I win that belt, but we don't know, at the end of the day, like if a good opportunity pops up for the UFC, I mean, obviously I don't want to be in the contender series either, but if I have to go that route, I'll do that route. I don't want to have to take sign fights with the UFC whenever they need me. I want them to want me. So we'll see what happens. I want to negotiate. Like obviously, who doesn't want to fight in the UFC? But you got to play it smart, especially in my current state and age and everything. It all has to make sense. So if it's title defense, this makes more sense than getting drafted and finding some crazy dude that's already like I just obviously you don't know my value yet, and we'll build from there.
Definitely, man. And on that, a lot of times the UFC is only bringing people on the contender series or a short notice fight. So, what's your whole opinions on that system they're kind of running right now?
Um, the system is you should already be training. If like you should already be ready. Like I see a lot of guys fumble their opportunity because they stop training, they stop being active, and they want to take a break, and then they get called, and then they do this last minute weight cut, all these things, and all these things are a bad recipe for losing. Like you think you're gonna win with that recipe? No. So you gotta stay ready, consistent. I fought 4 times last year, so I stayed active the whole time, and I'm gonna continue. I won another 4 fights this year. If so, I'm gonna be active the whole time. So even after this fight, I'm still gonna be with Training Lab, working every Tuesdays and Saturdays, getting my training in because you never know if that fight when UFC calls and it makes sense, I'll take it.
Definitely, man. And when you get to UFC, is there any dream fights in line that you want to have one day?
Yeah, I mean, I want to fight Cody Garbrandt. I feel like that would be. I want a good tune-up fight. I would like to fight Cody Garbrandt first. He's a good little tune-up to get me. Okay, this is how the UFC feels like. Okay, yeah, I'm dipping my feet in the water already. So yeah, that would be like a dream fight. He's a big name, obviously. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever take that fight. I don't know if UFC will ever make that fight happen if I get there, but that would be like a dream fight for me to just fight a former champion. That's my first fight or second.
Definitely, man. And he is fighting Figgy at UFC 300. So, who do you think wins that fight?
He's fighting Figueredo's
Yeah,
beating him. I feel like Figueredo is just more he's more active, he's more hungry, he's he's humble too. So like he comes from humble beginnings, so he gives it his all in every single training camp. I feel like Cody Garbrandt been up there, so now he's just fighting just to fight. Make money. He became a prize fighter. He's not trying to chase the belt. I believe he's not trying to chase the belt anymore. But now he's just putting on exciting fights. He became a BMF type of fighter.
yeah, I can definitely see that. And on the UFC, you faced Trevin Jones, a former competitor for the UFC. So, what was it like for you to face a guy that has that experience and has fought on the biggest stages before?
I underestimated him. I felt like he wasn't good. I felt all these things. When I look at a fight, when I look at a fighter and they sign a fight, I see them and I break them down. Their skills, their mentality, their how they talk with interviews, everything. I just break them down, and I just thought he was gonna be an easy fight. But he pulled some tricks on me. He pulled some old veteran moves. Like I rocked him the first round, and he kneed me right in the freaking cup. Then he started putting his fingers in the cage. Like he was doing a lot of dirty older veteran moves, and that was something new to me because it kind of threw the fight off. And when I look back at the tape, I'm like, damn, why did I? I should have net when he hit me in the nutsack. Like I just if I would have just kept pushing the issue, I would have probably got him out the first round. But fighting crafty veterans, he surprised me, and I learned a lot from that fight. I learned whatever I'm putting in now. He put some holes in my game. I mean, he found some holes in my game that I need to fix. and he took me down. You know, the strength factor was there. He took my no, he didn't take my back. He got to my back, slammed me. You know, it was just a bunch of grappling errors that I made in that fight. And instead of me trying to be me, I like to look for submissions. I don't care if I lose position. I like to just look for submissions, find them, boom, boom, hit them. If I catch them, I catch them. If I don't, I don't. But I was trying to do more control instead of, they call it position over submission. I was trying to do more positions, and a crafty veteran like that, you know, you can't just, you got to keep moving. You know, usually the guys in my gym, they give up on certain positions because I'm already dominant. Nah, he was, you know, he was going, that skill level was, you know, I was like, oh, shoot. So I found out mid fight, you know, that this level, you got to, train a little bit harder, and you got to be more smarter, and you just got to take more risks. For at least for me, take more risks as far as submitting in my grappling area.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely great experience for you. And after the fight, Trevin did believe he won that fight. He was talking a lot, saying he won. You didn't. So, what are your whole thoughts about that?
That guy's a straight clown, man. Like that guy, he's delusional. After the fight, you know, at first, when he was protesting that my win, I was like, man, this guy's really trying to take away from my win right now. What the heck is this guy doing? He's going on freaking I didn't lose tour on all these podcasts shows, and I'm like, oh my god, now he has like a false reality on their fans, and I just had to like ignore it. Now I find it funny. He's still talking about it to this day. I went on his page and he's over here talking about the. I'm like, so this guy, now I get a kick out of it. It's funny to me, you know. He can't let this one go. But there's another thing too that I like to add. There's a reason why he has 11 losses, because he cries about the judges. He cries about this. He cries about that. There's no accountability that he takes in. He takes no accountability. So with that, you can never grow as a fighter. Me, I learn on my wins. When I win, I go back and I address all of my holes that I found, and I dissect it. And when people tell me, I already know. I already dissected myself more than you. So I learn on my wins. And that's why I have a 9-5 win streak, because I continue to grow. I'm not just going to be like, okay, this is working. I'm going to stay like this forever. No. I was like, okay, there was holes here. I need to fix that. I need to fix that. And as I'm progressing on this graph, I'm fixing myself. He doesn't do that. So it's just in his nature. He's going to continue to complain, and he's a clown.
Definitely, man. And my final question for you. We're in the year 2024. Obviously, this is going to be a big year for you, but what are your goals inside and outside the year, or outside the cage for you?
My goals outside the cage, well, obviously, you know, I have a couple of, what do you call it, reality. I've been on a reality TV show. Maybe they might hit me up again for that. I might do another reality TV show. I don't want to say too much about it, but yeah, there's that, and just I don't know, just going with my family, um, focusing on God. You know, that's another thing too. It's God's plan. It took me a while to believe, like understand what that means, but it doesn't have to make sense. Like things don't have to make sense why everything's happening. Just know that it's God's plan. So if things are going like people don't understand why I am where I am, or I don't understand why people are where they are, it was just their turn, and now it's Pat. Now the light's coming to me, so I just got to be ready for those, because when it comes, it comes. Everything's gonna go at 100 miles per hour, and I just got to be ready.
It's great, man. Anything you want to shout out or plug before we head out of here?
Yes, I'd like to shout out to my sponsor, X Marshall, right here, man. They've been taking care of me. They've been sending me gear. They've been nothing but just thank you guys. Thank you guys for giving me training gear. And I'd like to shout out to ATM Building, Essentials Homework, and Doctor's Touch. Those are my sponsors. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome for making all of this possible. Oh, and Security, American Express Security. You guys too. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. All this wouldn't be possible as far as my training camps without them. So thank you guys. And thank you too. I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to share how I feel about this whole fight game.
Robert, it was an honor to speak with you. I wish you the best of luck in your fight. Folks, that'll be all for today. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.